Morning, folks. Brian here, Geomagnetic Earthwatch, Saturday, May 3, 2025. Bit of a report before I start my day here. So they changed the G2 geomagnetic storm to a G1. However, the solar wind speeds are currently at 776 kilometers per second, which is twice as fast as they normally are. Let's take a look at our magnetopies. So this is the outer edge of our protected magnetic field. Rotating satellites, Earth. Let's play it. Let's go back to, still not too sure about this one. Now here on the NOAA site, they still have it. Look at the rays here before. I'm just not too sure. Now, when I go to the Space Weather Live site, they have removed it. So the 29th, 30th, the 1st, now they've removed that 1 hour and 15-minute gap or incident. Not too sure what to think of it. I'm sure Sal knows what's going on. 30th, May 1st. Yeah, so they have a, they've taken it out here. Anyway, let's take a look at our heat. So following the 7.5, 7-point earthquake southern tip of Argentina, I said to expect the energy to be flowing towards, through the Scotia Sea. I believe I also mentioned some heat in the Antarctica Peninsula. Let's take a look. So we now have one. As well as the South Sandwich Islands. We have one. Let's go to Google. Take a look at what's going on here. This is one. So sometimes at the peninsula, there are some heat detections here. And the other one. Now, with the last geomagnetic instability, I said to expect something from here going along Caribbean. And I did mention Hawaii, so obviously there's an uptick. However, you know what? I'm not going to jump to conclusions. I'm going to do my due diligence. I'm not going to say that this recent eruption is the result of the geomagnetic storm, because this has been ongoing for the past few weeks now, an uptick. Let's talk about earthquakes. I'll get to this one in a minute. Now, watching Ben Davidson, a suspicious observer, he is claiming that the third geomagnetic event has caused a third power failure. Sorry, no. He needs some education here. Now, according to the authorities, so Bali, Tower Island, the Bali had a grid down situation due to interference in the submarine cable bringing in electricity from Java into Bali. So there's been a series of earthquakes on both sides, more than this one. So there's been about 4 or 5 earthquakes here as well as the other side. So let's do a little bit of education talk. Geomagnetic storms can affect submarine cables, internet cables. They do not affect the cables themselves. They affect the repeater stations. High voltage electrical do not have repeater stations on the ocean floor. Go to Bali. So earthquakes here, earthquakes here. You cannot automatically jump to conclusions. Hey, listen, this is the guy. When you had your massive AT&T outage in the United States, he did state, and I'm quoting his words, that was the most significant space weather event ever, end quote. From a solar storm that did not happen on the sun, nowhere near Earth facing. There was an X1 flare from behind the limb. There was no CME. There was no radiation storm, but his claim that was what took out the AT&T outage. He said it was global. It was not global. This is the same guy who said that that cargo ship that struck Baltimore was the result of an induced current in the waters there. And when he saw the image of the black smoke from the smokestack, he did state that that was the result of the solar impact event 24 hours before, not realizing, thinking it through, that the operator actually slammed the ship into reverse to try and avoid hitting the bridge. And that was the result of the black smoke from the engine room. There was no fire in the engine room from a solar event. Sorry, no. Take it through. Don't be so quick to jump to conclusions. I digress for now. What else was there before I carry on? Let's do a quick check of the heat. So purple or violet is the hottest in the waters. There is one more thing, just give me a moment. Let's go to the National Data Buoy Center. No, that's not it. So everything is reset. Puerto Rico's reset, Gulf of Alaska's reset. Actually, you know what? I'm going to make a change. I'm going to change this name to the Gulf of Northern Canada, if that's all right. Thank you, because I said so. Our heat is continuing. Entrance to the Gulf of Oman. Correction, Aden. Okay, folks. Oh, shoot. Yes, one more thing. This is a repeat occurrence that's happening. So northern Sulawesi, Indonesia, a couple of deep earthquakes. A couple of sixes at 108 and 110 kilometers deep. There's another, actually, let me refresh this. Okay, it's not on here yet. Following the deep earthquake, there's a shallow 6.3 earthquake inland. This is an exact repeat occurrence of approximately 1 year ago. Approximately 1 year ago, there was a deep earthquake. It's the exact same location. Moments later, there's a very shallow earthquake on land. Later on that day, or the following morning, there was a shallow 7.2 or 7.3 earthquake right here, and then minutes later, there was a deep earthquake at 750 kilometers depth right here off of New Zealand. So let's just wait to see what happens. Okay, I gotta get outside and do my weekly fertilizing with my children vegetables. That is all, as you were.